Hi guys, hope you all are doing well. So today we need to start off with throughput accounting questions. First question is right on the screen. It says Platoons Limited is engaged in the manufacturing of three products, the Super, Deluxe and Economy. The following demands have been estimated for the year ending 30th September 20x6, and they have given you the units for Super, Deluxe and Economy 39, 44 and 42,000 respectively. The following sales price and costs have been established for the year ended 30th September 20x6. Selling price per unit is given for each of them. Material cost per unit is given for each of them. Labor cost per unit and variable overheads per unit are given for each of them. It says each unit of Super takes 4 hours to complete, while each unit of Deluxe is completed in 4.5 hours. Economy takes 3 hours to complete. There are only 400,000 labor hours available. Fixed costs are $7 million, and the requirement is to use the marginal costing approach first in order to compute how many units of each product should be manufactured. That is going to maximize your profit and state the value of that profit. And in the next part, you are going to use throughput accounting system. It says calculate the product mix that will maximize profit had a throughput accounting system been followed, and state the value of that profit. Now in this question, they've already given you the assumed fixed cost, that is 7,960,000. They've mentioned that your answer should assume that the variable cost of 7,960,000 pounds, that is labor and variable overheads arising as a result of a chosen product mix in one, is fixed in short term. So they have already mentioned it to you. All you need to do is start computing your answer now. So let's get right at it. Let's do part 1 first. We have to do all of our workings based on the 5-step approach that we discussed in the concept lecture. So first of all, let's put them this way. We need to identify the limiting factor. How do we identify the limiting factor? They mentioned that Super takes 4 hours, and how many units are we producing? 39,000. Deluxe takes 4.5 hours for 44,000 in total, and then economy takes 42,000 units and 3 hours. So the total labor hours consumed would be the sum of these three. However, we only have 400 labor hours available. So you need 480,000 hours, but you have only 400,000 hours, which means that limiting factor does exist. Now the second step was to compute contribution per unit. So simply compute the selling price minus your variable cost. Selling price was 300 for Super minus all the variable costs. So material, labor and variable cost. Because right now we are doing marginal costing, we're not doing throughput accounting. So you need to make sure that all of your variable costs are taken into account. Next we have is the contribution per limiting factor. So you already have these, just copy it down. Contribution is already given, so divided by limiting factor per unit, because right now you've computed contribution per unit, so that will need to be divided by limiting factor per unit only. Had it been contribution in total, you could have also divided by limiting factor in total. Divided by 3. This is your contribution per limiting factor. Now you need to rank the products. So we are going to rank the products based on highest contribution per limiting factor, which means economy gets first, deluxe second, and super third. Now we need to make the optimal plan. So economy will be produced first, then deluxe. So economy had 42,000 units, right, and it was using 3 labor hours, so 126,000. Next is deluxe. So deluxe had 44,000 units and 4.5 hours, so 198,000 hours, which means up till now how many hours have been consumed? 324,000 out of 400,000. Total we have 400,000 hours available. So we're going to subtract 400,000 minus 324,000 to get the available hours for producing super. Now these are the hours that super is going to consume, but how many units will super make? So in order to get to know about that, you divide the hours available by the limiting factor, that is 4 hours for super. This tells you that okay, we are producing 19,000 units of super. So what becomes the optimal plan? Economy produces 42,000 units, 44,000 of deluxe, and 19,000 of super. I hope this is clear. Now marginal costing is almost done, like the 5-step approach is almost done. All we need to do is compute the profits. So in order to be able to compute the profits, what we need to do is that we are going to make a whole chart and we are going to compute the selling price, the material cost will be subtracted, labor cost subtracted, variable cost will also be subtracted. We are going to compute the profit in the end. But this needs to be done in total because it says state the value of that profit. So let's do that. So economy was the first one. Rather than computing the total selling price and then subtracting it from total variable cost, what we can do is you've already computed our contribution, right? So contribution per unit can be taken up. Multiply that by the amount of units that were produced. That would make things way more easier for you. This gives you total contribution. Once you have the total contribution, then you subtract it from the fixed cost. So the fixed cost was 7 million. Yeah, 7 million. Profit would be 3,750,000. Okay, make sure you do the formatting properly the way we have already seen in ABC. Now moving towards throughput accounting. How will you go about it? The first step is already done. We have already identified that a limiting factor does exist. So let's come to the second step. Throughput per unit. Let's just copy this over here. How are you going to compute the throughput? 300, that is the selling price, minus just the material cost. Throughput does not consider labor cost and variable overheads to be variable. It assumes them to be fixed, as we've already discussed. Okay, we have the throughput per unit. Throughput per limiting factor needs to be computed. So again, you have the throughput, divide that by 4 for super, 190 divided by 4.5 for deluxe, and 165 divided by 3 for economy. Once you have that, now you need to rank your products. So again, highest throughput per limiting factor. So economy gets the first rank, super gets the second rank in this one, and deluxe is the third one. Now make the optimal plan. So economy, super, and then deluxe. So let's keep deluxe for later. Economy took the same amount of hours, 126,000. Super is going to take 39,000 into 4 hours. So hours consumed would be the sum of these two. Hours available, the total hours available were 400,000. Available hours become 118,000. Units of deluxe this time need to be computed. So 118 divided by 4.5. And for economy, you produce entire 42,000, and for super, entire 39,000. Now compute the total profit at optimal plan. So economy, super, deluxe. Now this time you are going to compute throughput per, you're basically going to multiply throughput per unit into the amount of units that you produced. So for super 180 into 39, and for deluxe 190 into this gives you total throughput less fixed cost. First you subtract the actual fixed cost, which means the general fixed cost, so 7 million. Then you subtract the assumed fixed cost, so 7,960,000 profit. So this gives you 397 and then tetra 2. So let's quickly check that. For marginal costing, the answers are completely correct. Just give me a quick minute so I can check the answers for throughput as well. Yeah, all the answers are correct. There might be a slight difference if we take the whole numbers over here and not the decimal places. So there may be a slight difference, but that is not something to worry about. So this is your first question for Throughput Accounting, that is Platoons Limited. I hope you all are clear about it, and I believe there might be a slight confusion that why aren't we doing part 3, that is calculate the throughput accounting ratio for each product. This will come towards the end of the chapter. Before we do the theory, we are going to do throughput accounting ratio, but not right now, because first we need to understand the concepts of throughput accounting itself and marginal costing. We need to do some more questions for it. Then we come towards throughput accounting ratio once we are already an expert for throughput accounting. Okay, so this will come towards the end. I want you to try Ride Limited as your homework, and then in the next question, in the next class, we are going to do bottlenecks question.